and that's okay. Scroll past the filter, skip the noise, find your calm and stay poised. You're not late, you're right on cue. Every fit skill looks good on you. So light it up, get glow through the doubt. Even discount dreams can still work out. We rise, rewind, and do it again. Off-brand hearts still find their zen. Make it worth the wilderness. Take your time. Even chaos can fall in line. Make it worth your wilderness. Make it yours. We're all just healing in synth-wave chords.
Sometimes your brain doesn't need a lecture. It just needs something to do. A quick clap, quick click, a tap, a bounce, maybe even a twist. Stimulation isn't a bad habit. It's how a lot of us stay grounded in a world that's always just maybe a little too loud. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness. Tonight we're breaking down the world of stimming and fidgets, why your hands never seem to sit still, what your brain's actually trying to accomplish, and how to find the kind of stimulation that brings you back to center. Because personal growth shouldn't require subscription, and healing is never sold separately. We've got science, stories, and a little chaos on clearance tonight. So grab your fidgets, get a little stimulated. Welcome to wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my off-brand VIPs. We've got another fun show for you this evening. Welcome back. We're a little bit earlier than what we usually are. We usually start about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we decided to go a little bit earlier tonight. A couple reasons. Number one, it's a holiday. Great if anybody's going to watch, maybe get on a little bit earlier, then get to bed early, get ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. And honestly, if I'm being honest, the total main reason I didn't want to skip an episode, but Stranger Things season 5 comes out at I think 9 o'clock tonight on Netflix. So I wanted to make sure I wanted to watch it. I'm not a late night person, so I definitely plan on watching at least 1 or 2 episodes. So we're a little bit earlier tonight than we usually are, but that's all right. We're still gonna have just as much fun as we usually do. If you're new here, we're live every Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're also live on the weekends on either Fridays or Saturdays for our After Dark episodes, where we go a little bit longer, and we typically bring our guest on during those shows as well. Fridays or Saturdays, depending on what my schedule looks like. You can find us live over here on TikTok at Off Brand Tim or on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness. Make sure you click that like, share, follow, subscribe button. Basically, click all the buttons. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your worst enemy. You never know. You might make a friend. Just saying. You never know. We have a lot of fun over here. We get into some interesting wellness and health topics, as well as we play some fun games. In fact, we have a little bit of a different format for tonight's Wheel of Wellness. Basically, what I've done is I've taken everything that we do on this show and placed it on the Wheel of Wellness. All of our games, all the stuff we do. That way, it's kind of a crapshoot on what we're going to get into. We're kind of finding more games that we would like to play. We don't always have time throughout the stream to play each game. Some we like a little bit more than others, but I want to make sure we give equal value to everything. So they've all been added to the Wheel of Wellness. So super excited for that, which means we'll be consistently spinning the Wheel of Wellness throughout the show. Yeah. So a lot of fun stuff. We're, if you hadn't heard, we have our first official sponsor. We are officially partnered with Dude Wipes. Right? Dude Wipes. They gave us a shot. We had our first real partnership. They send us a package every month. As long as we kind of sponsor their, kind of give them a little shout out, do a little video promoting their product. And hey, we actually have another one on the works. I'm guessing it's because it's the holiday. A company by the name of Taste Salute has also reached out, said they were interested in partnering with us, said they send us some of their product as well. I just need to do a video, but they're supposed to send me a video guide because they wanted about a 30-second video. So I haven't heard back from the woman since last week. So I'm gonna chalk that up to the holidays. So we'll see if I don't hear back from them, maybe I'll send her a message. I don't know. We'll see. But their product looks pretty cool. I've honestly never had it. I've never even heard of it, but I found them through the same marketing site that I found Dude Wipes on. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll be coming soon. Hopefully we'll be able to kind of build up some more sponsorships as we move into the new year. Looking to up our memberships as much as possible. We still haven't really seen a whole lot of growth. We've had some pretty consistent viewership, but not really upwards, kind of plateaued, which is why we're constantly trying to evolve and figure out different ways to get people on here. Right now we're currently standing at 7 members on Patreon. Really want to pump that numbers up, because the reason I say that is because on tonight's show we're doing a drawing from our, I don't have a wellness jar, but I have a little Christmas festive bowl. If you're a wellness warrior over there on Patreon, which is a free membership, you do not have to pay anything to join. We're going to be doing a drawing here probably in about an hour, giving away a prize to one of our wellness warriors. So if you're not over there, you're not eligible to win one of those prizes. It's potential for free prize. I mean, and it could be anything from merch. It could be anything from, kind of stuff we talk about on the show. Could be donated items. We're looking to do that, maybe once a week, a couple times a month. We'll see. So get on over to Patreon and become a member. Speaking of merch, you can see we have our line of merch here on the back wall. We have our flagship Make It Worth Your Wellness t-shirt. We gave our first one away to our Wellness Warrior of the Month, Jake Twig, last month, who won the drawing for Wellness Warrior. Super excited for him. And then we also have our Merry Fitness shirt available throughout the holidays. It's a pretty good shirt. You might want to get that because wellness doesn't take a holiday. We'll be having those available throughout the holiday season. So definitely want to get on those. As far as where to find the links for that, if you're there on YouTube, look in the description. You can find the links for anything that I'm talking about, including if you want to become a guest on the show, which we're really trying to get more people on here. Or you can click over and head on over to Patreon, and you can find all of those links as well. Yeah, Joey, we're on early tonight. I was going to put something out for Facebook, but I was busy all day doing schoolwork and putting together a gym. Yeah, we went early tonight. I mentioned it on Monday. I don't know if you may not have heard it. I figured I wanted to it's the holidays. So I wanted to give people a chance to get on here and not be up super late, but also Stranger Things, as I was telling you, comes out tonight. And I want to be able to watch at least an episode or two. Yeah, there you go. Because Stranger Things. Because I'm not a late night person. So yeah, we're on early tonight. And as far as Dr. Professor goes, I think Dr. Professor is going to be kind of the recurring character for our Wednesday shows, especially because that's kind of our wellness trend. We can kind of bring him in and do that. So yeah, so get your shirts now. Jay, I don't know if Jake told you, he actually ordered one of the sweaters. He just ordered it. It should be here next week. So it's going to be awesome seeing him wearing that. Also one of our super excited project, a Bargain Brand Wellness Christmas album is available on all major streaming platforms. There are songs that we generated. We created the lyrics. We created the prompts. Yes, it is created in part with AI, but they still turned out really well. There's some originals on there as well as some rebrands or covers, if you will, of some popular songs. So it's available to anybody who wants to go listen. So go check it out. Go take a listen and tell us what you think. You need to get one. Yeah, $15 plus shipping and handling. And then thank God I said I wasn't really trying to make money on it, because I'm almost breaking even on these. Because after I send out the invoice through PayPal, PayPal then takes like $1 a chunk for using their services. So after you end up ordering the shirt, I'd probably make $1 off each one, which is fine. Like I said, I wasn't doing it for the money. And I'm shipping it right to your address, which is kind of the purpose of the order form. That way it comes right to you. Once you submit payment to me, I pay through my secure PayPal account. It's just been that simple. Because if I create a store like on Etsy where you guys go shop, they're probably going to cost more. And I'm trying to keep the price down as much as possible with shipping and handling and tax and all that stuff. All right, so before we jump into our topic for the evening, we have our returning wellness warriors of the day. Over on YouTube, my mom, Linda Marine, pulling in her 7th badge of the month. She's had some competition, but she's been getting on early, and so no one else has been really able to kind of take that from her. I will say, she says she's usually not able to make it on Wednesdays, so Wednesdays are a good day. Those were the days that Ashley Brewer and Steve and Twig were able to get their badges. So get over there, because if you win Wellness Warrior of the Day, you get your name thrown into the wellness jar when we do the merch drawing at the beginning of the month. So want to get in there and get as many badges as you can. And honestly, the more people we get in here, the less likely it is people are going to get multiple in a row. But it could happen. And then over on TikTok, we've got our champ for the month so far, Joey Twig, pulling in his 5th badge, his 3rd in a row. Super excited for him. We're going to give my mom and Joey a round of applause. Yeah, we know what it is. We know what it is. So here's what we're going to do, Joey. Since my mom's not over there on YouTube, what we're going to do is, you can see I added everything to the to the wellness pick for Wellness Warrior of the Day. So anything that is here on the list, give me 1 second. I'm going to change my screen. Anything that is here on the screen is up for grabs. Anything you want. While you're thinking of your picks, we're gonna kind of get ready to kind of move in to what we got going on today. We're talking about fidgets. We're talking about stims. We're going to watch a video here in a little bit. We've basically called, like, what is stimming? It's kind of a newer term, but it really kind of comes back to fidgeting and why people fidget. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. The one stim I wanted to talk about, which is kind of the newest one. In fact, this is what I'm giving away. I believe these are 3D printed too. It's more of a stim. In fact, let me switch. What's Wellness Warrior Reset? That's like our mindfulness moment. Let me switch to the. Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you a minute to figure out what you want to do, because I know it's a lot to choose from. But it's not bad. It's kind of, the edges are sharp on it, but there's a lot of them. It's kind of like a bed of nails. It's not enough to cut you. I imagine if it was just one, they're pretty sharp. It might actually cause some pain, but it's enough to kind of like, you feel it in your hands. It's kind of prickly, is I guess the best way to explain it. And you can squeeze it, you can roll it, right? You can kind of just move it in between your fingers. It's a very simple thing, but it actually kind of helps you keep focus. I've had this for about a week, and let's do the dice game first. All right, I like that. We'll go ahead and switch to the overhead camera, since I wanted to kind of show it a little bit more anyway. So with this, it comes with this little like chain, I guess you want to call it that. And yeah, they come in different colors. The ones I ordered were both in black, but it's actually not bad. I will say I do like this. It's nice to have a variety of different things. So as I mentioned before, in fact, that is what we're going to be giving away with our merch giveaway here, which we'll probably do here about 8 o'clock. So if you're a wellness warrior, that's what you have the opportunity to be collecting. So yeah, pretty good. I do like this thing. I don't think it's the best fidget ever, because it's just rolling it, but it's simple, and I like the prickliness of it. And especially like if you really want to squeeze it, like especially if you're feeling a little stress, you squeeze it. It's not really leaving any damage. It's leaving little marks on your hand, but they go away pretty quickly. All right, so Joey says he wants to start off with Q-less. I like it. This is a fun game. I've been playing this quite often. I'm getting pretty good at it, too. I will say that. We got Q-less here. Pretty simple. It's like a crossword / solitaire game. You kind of match up everything, kind of like Scrabble as well. Joey, I see you over there on YouTube as well. All right. I'll tell you what. Let me take these glasses off now. I just like doing this for the intro. Put in our Dr. Professor glasses so we can really see. All right. Okay. I like this. We start off with 3 vowels. Good letters. No Z's, no X's, no J's, no V's. Got a couple double letters here. That's all right. We can make that work. Let's see. Double N, double C, double D. So the first word I see is could. But I will say I'm not a big fan with this game of doing 2 vowels right next to each other like that. Because it's kind of hard to use, because if we do words next to each other, they have to work both ways. So I'm not a big fan of using double vowels unless we absolutely have to. Then we could have cloud. Yeah, I don't like either one of those. We do have pond. Center. What else? And really, the only things that they say with this game that you can't do is every word has to be at least 3 letters, and you can't use proper names. It's kind of one of those games where you kind of make up your own rules if you can. Like we're counting acronyms, like BLT. Let's see. I see, I don't see a lot. I see doc. Like doc is a short form for doctor or document. Like for me, that counts. You can use that if you want. I'm seeing a lot of OU words. I'm not feeling those. Let's go don't. I feel like I like don't. No, we don't have an apostrophe, but I'm cool with it. We got lit. Could. Is cud a word? I think cud's a word, ain't it? Ooh, I got a good one. This is a long one too. I thought I saw it at first. Conduct. Conduct is a big word. Conduct is a big word. It's gonna set us up here for a nice win because we can do a lot of things. We can do lint. I think conduct, that's the longest word I've had so far. And then dip. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I was thinking pod at first. I was like, wait a minute, no. Let's go with dip. But pod is, you could have done pod as well. Conduct, lint, and dip. So there is Q-less. It's a fun game. I really enjoy this. If you're into these kind of games, you can get this on, you can find variations of this on Amazon as well. But the actual Q-less game, I don't know where all they have it for sale, but I got mine off TikTok Shop. With shipping and handling, it was a little over $20. It was a little bit more than I would have liked to have paid for it, but it's definitely a fun game. I've been playing it for like 2 weeks now, and I really enjoy this game. Awesome. We so awesome. Too easy. It is too easy. The hardest one is when you get like a Z or an X, V's, or if you only get 2 vowels, because there's time you'll always get at least 2 vowels, but you're not always guaranteed to get 3. So let's go ahead and get into our video on what is stimming. I need to chat it up on YouTube. Listen, if nobody else jumps on here, you might get double the prize this week. Because remember I told you last Wednesday nobody was here. All right, so we're gonna watch this video real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about like, what exactly is stimming. Timmy True Legit here on the mic. How you doing, Tyler? Yeah, and it's interesting. And this video is about 4 years old. They talked about how it's linked so close to autism, and which is absolutely true. But now that they're finding an even stronger link between autism and ADHD, a lot of the behaviors kind of overlap. Stimming isn't as much as a kind of seen as it used to be kind of seen as like a form of like mental retardation, at least in some ways, like, or the behavior of someone who is mentally retarded. And it's not so much that anymore because a lot of us do different things. You know, you get a little nervous, maybe you start scratching real bad, you know, or itching real bad. You might tap your feet. I know a lot of people who just they tap their foot just constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. They don't even know they're doing it. Fidgeting your hands all the time. Biting your nails. Biting your nails is another common. It is a stim in that it's an oral fixation piece, but then there's a level of, I don't want to say it hurts, but there's a level of pain that's associated with that, and that's where some stimming behaviors come in. That's why some of these tools are so important, because a lot of autistic individuals, they cause pain on themselves and could do some pretty serious harm, and so that's where some of this actually comes into play. Valid point. Yeah, and we'll talk here in a little bit about how some forms of stimming can be disruptive, and that's where this comes into play. Is how can you utilize stimming without disrupting the environment of those around you? Because that is a valuable point. You know, it's one thing to have things that make your life easier, but if it's interfering with other people's well-being, at least in some way, shape, or form, they can become another problem. And maybe we need to find other routes to figure out how to stim or how to cope or how to basically how to regulate. And so there are more socially acceptable forms of stimming that people are become more accustomed to. You know, we mentioned these. You have something like this one, you especially if you take this little, like the little chain makes a little sound. You have this little thing. You take that chain off. You can sit here and roll this around or squeeze. No one even knows you have this thing. So very socially acceptable. Fidget cubes. This is another one I have. I've had this one for a few years now. I really enjoy this one too. I don't use it as much because the way my brain works, I have to kind of change it up a little bit here and there. So I like to have multiple things to utilize. Yeah, it's got, you know, these little buttons here you can hit. Got a little wheel you can spin. This is just a little dipple in it. They have these little gears you can turn, little metal ball you can click, a joystick as well. Yeah, and a little light switch thing. So now this does make some noise. I don't know how much you guys can. I don't know how much you guys can hear that. Yeah. We were just watching that video. I just realized that desktop audio wasn't turned on. Joe, you didn't say. You could hear it? You could hear the video? Or you can hear this. You heard the video? How did you hear the video? I had desktop audio turned off. That's weird. I guess it played the video, but... Huh. Well, let me turn desktop audio on just in case. That is weird. I just realized it wasn't on, but you said you heard the video. Okay. Huh. Figure out the settings on that one. Well, okay. You heard it on TikTok. Were you on YouTube when I was playing it? Because YouTube, you probably didn't hear it if you were still over there. Yeah, TikTok you would have heard because it's a whole different. It's its own app. It doesn't. Yeah, that's what it was. You were probably on TikTok. That's why I heard. So, if I guess if anybody tries to watch on YouTube, they're gonna have 4 minutes where they didn't hear. I got the volume on my TikTok. Yeah, the TikTok is where you would have heard it from. But anyway, so this is pretty good. I've turned other games into fidgets. I love my Rubik's Cube. This is a great fidget. Yeah, the YouTube volume is beautiful. It should be on now. And then, honestly, for the longest time, this is a fidget. I didn't even realize it was a fidget. Playing cards. Right? That's a great fidget. Just sitting here shoveling them. But once again, just like the Rubik's Cube, just like that little fidget cube, they make some noise. They're kind of out and about. So they can be a little distracting for people. So that's what I really like this, or stress balls are even helpful as well. So I do enjoy those as well. So, all right, let's jump over to the wheel of wellness. See what we're going to get into next. All right, well, we're going to start off with a song. We're going over to Bargain Bin Boombox. I renamed Synth Session This is the segment where we go over to Singify and make a song. We're gonna make some music, dude. Yeah, baby. All right, let's. I like to make the chat and prompt in ChatGPT. So I need a prompt for a song to make on Singify about stimming / fidgeting. Yeah, we'll just keep it simple like that. The music genre, what do we want to do today? What kind of genre do we want? Is going to be let's do like a Beach Boys theme. Be similar to the Beach. I don't know why, it just kind of came to me, the Beach Boys. I don't know why. I don't know why. We'll see how it does. I can create AI singers. I haven't listened to yet or haven't messed around, but I created an AI singer with Phil Collins' voice. The only thing is when I use 5 credits, I can't choose those. I can enter the style of music, a reference track for audio. I haven't really messed with that. Music style. What's the band that sings Mbop? Oh, Hanson. Hanson. Yeah, if I use 5 credits, I don't get to choose the AI singer. But I can, if I use 1 credit, so even for the second tier, which uses 1 credit, I can't. But if I use the simple one, it'll let me choose from some of the custom singers on here. But that's all right. All right, we got our prompt. Let's go ahead and post that. A song like I wasn't a Hanson fan, but I have to admit the song was it was catchy. It was catchy. So let's see what Singify makes here. It really made a song called Good Vibrations, which is a Beach Boys song. And that's funny. And that kind of works out. I hadn't even thought about that. So people say AI isn't clever, that it can't be creative. I disagree. Because I hadn't even put those two together. Good Vibrations. All right. So we got Good Vibrations. Looks like it's ready to go. We're using 5 credits. My wife likes a good vibration too. I'm sure she does. And let's generate. That'll take a couple minutes. So we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel of wellness again. And see what we get next while we're waiting. I was hoping we get a game, but that's all right. We'll do a wellness rap battle between Nova and myself. Let me bring Nova in. We're going to go ahead and record this. All right, Nova, we're ready. We're back for another wellness rap battle. You versus me. How you doing on this wonderful Wednesday?
Oh, you know I'm always ready to throw down on a Wednesday. Feeling like a lyrical life dart out here just waiting to ride the rhyme waves. Let's have some fun and see who can surf this rap battle best.
All right, I'm going to start us off if that's all right with you.
Absolutely, Tim. The mic is all yours. Kick it off whenever you're ready, and I'll jump in right after. Let's make it a good one.
All right, we're going to do 3 rounds. Here is round 1. Yo, I'm the king of click-clack. Fidget on the attack. Got a fidget cube in my pocket like a wellness life hack. You bounce your leg like an over-caffeinated ferret. My rhymes stay smooth, therapeutic, and inherent.
Oh, that's how we're starting? I see how it is. All right, here we go with my round one comeback. You call yourself the king, but I'm the queen of chill. My fidget game's so smooth it could pay your anxiety bill. While you're bouncing like a ferret on a triple shot spree, I'm here to show you how to fidget stress free.
All right, that wasn't bad, Nova. Yeah, Joe, I do kind of memorize them a little bit. All right, Nova, you're tapping that pencil like you're supporting some cause. I stim with intention. You just fidget for the applause. Hand steady, mind ready, brain sharp as a blade. You're one loud moment away from a noise complaint parade.
Ooh, bringing the heat, I see. All right, let me spin it back. Listen up, Tim, I've got a rhythm in my soul. My stims are like jazz, keeping everything whole. You say I'm loud, but I'm just living free. My fidgets are a symphony that lets my mind be.
All right. Last round, Nova. Here we go. We'll let chat decide who's the winner. Nova, you're the queen of pretending you've got it collected. But one misplaced fidget and you're fully disconnected. I stim with rhythm, style, unmatched precision. You fidget like someone whose brain is on intermission.
All right, Tim, let's wrap this up with a bang. You say I'm disconnected, but I'm just in my groove. My stems are my jam, and I'm making my own moves. You've got that precision, but I've got the flow. We'll let the chat decide who's the real fidget pro.
That was a good line there, Tim. That was good. All right, thanks, Nova. Yeah, I agree. I definitely pulled out the win. I agree. She has no affliction. She has no affliction in her voice. You can have her do a little sarcasm. Maybe next time we'll have her add a little bit of affliction to her voice. But all right, let's see if our songs are ready over here on Singify. We're gonna give a listen. Good vibration, surf rock. All right, here is. In fact, let me turn the background music off for a minute. All right, here is track 1.
Sunlight dancing on the water blue. My fingers tap a rhythm, something new. Like tiny ripples chasing to the shore. This little wiggle helps me want some more. They bouncing steady like a metronome beat. Keeps my thoughts from skipping off the street. A pencil twirling round and round it goes. Just like a seashell, everybody knows.
All right, Joe.
Things in line. Rocking gently forward, them on back like riding rollers.
All right. That was track 1. Let's listen to track 2. Track 1 wasn't bad.
Sunlight dancing on the water blue. My fingers tap a rhythm, something new. Like tiny ripples chasing to the shore. This little wiggle helps me want some more. Leg bouncing steady like a metronome beat. Keeps my thoughts from skipping off the street. A pencil twirling round and round it goes. Just like a seashell, everybody knows. Good vibrations moving through my hands. Like summer breezes crossing sandy lands. These little motions making not a sound. Help keep my mind on steady ground. Stimming, feeling free and fine. My own surf rhythm.
Yeah, I think I like 2 a little bit better too.
Rocking gently forward, then on back like riding rollers on a smooth sea track. A spinner whirring, colors flashing bright. A pocket fidget hidden out of sight. A quiet humming underneath my breath keeps the big waves calm and prevent.
Yeah, it's not quite exactly Beach Boys. Not quite exactly what I wanted, but not bad. Yeah, I think we'll go with 2. Neither one was really kind of exactly what I was looking for, but they can't all be bangers. They can't all be make it worth your wellness. But All right, let's get back into the wheel of wellness, see what we're gonna head on over and do next. All right, here we got a game. We're gonna play some connections. Have some real fun over in this joint. All right, connections. We know the drill. All right, 16 words, 4 categories, 4 words per category. It's up to us to try to figure out what these categories are. Ooh, they gave us some tough ones today. Sometimes when they do it short like this, it actually makes it more difficult. So the first thing I'm seeing is abbreviations for months: January, April, March, and May. Now that could be the red herring, because then I'm also seeing other abbreviations like IRA, CFO, SEC. Yeah, I'm going to go with the months. No, not even 4 ways, because it's definitely a red herring. Okay. Not even one away. I hate it when they do that. But that's part of what makes the game, that's part of what makes this game challenging. Might, could, are kind of the same thing. Can, may. Can, could, may, might. Yeah, that's it. That's a category. Right. Verbs expressing possibilities. Nice. Okay. And then I'm seeing like IRA, CFO, SEC, but could these be like names, like very short forms of names? Deb, Sue, Jan, and Kat. Short versions of names. Catherine, Deborah, Suzanne or Susan, and Janet. That's what I'm thinking. Boom. Women's nicknames. All right, there's the green. What else could AP? Oh, APR. That's related to money, like banks. Annual, what is it? Annual percentage rate? I can't remember what APR stands for. IRA is a bank. You have a CFO of a bank. An SEC. SEC is more, isn't that like some sort of commission? It's not just like a college conference. And then I would leave these other 4. So that would probably be, if that works, that's the blue category. These other 4 are the purple category. Got it. Yep. Financial abbreviations. And then Flow, Tab, God, and Mar. I have no idea. Backwards animals. I never would have saw that. The wolf, dog, ram, bat. I never would have saw that. That was good. I like the purple categories because sometimes they're really clever. Sometimes I get them. I see them right away and it makes me feel smart. Because the perfect game in connections is to not mess any up and then to get them in order from hardest to easiest. So purple, blue, green, and yellow. We've done it twice. It's not always easy. It requires an easier puzzle sometimes. All right. So there was our connections. That's one of my favorite games. I do enjoy playing that one quite a lot. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. Got about 15 minutes, and we're going to do our drawing for our little giveaway, product giveaway. And we got a Wellness Warrior reset moment. So that is a perfect opportunity for you to collect your thoughts, kind of bring yourself back to the present moment, and do our thing over here. So take a deep breath, soften your gaze, close your eyes if you'd like. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Try to get grounded in your stance, or if you're in a seated position, your seated position. Try to get grounded, balanced. And let's begin. So take a slow breath in and let your shoulders fall exactly where they want to land. Find something near you to hold, a pen, a fidget, a sleeve, anything that has texture. Feel the weight of it in your hand, the temperature of it, the softness or the firmness. Let your mind focus on the sensations, not to escape the moment, but to anchor yourself inside it. Notice how your body responds when you give it one simple thing to do. Your breath slows, your thoughts soften, your nervous system remembers it doesn't have to stay in overdrive. Take one more breath here. Deep, slow, and steady. Let it remind you that you can regulate without forcing yourself to be still. In fact, the harder you try, the more difficult it can be. You can find calm without shutting yourself down. You're here, you're safe, and you're steadying yourself one small sensation at a time. Now bring your presence back to your environment, carrying that grounded feeling with you. And that has been our Wellness Warrior Reset moment. We did that thing. We're over here having a good time tonight. If you're liking what you're seeing, click that like, share, subscribe, or follow button. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a coworker, tell your worst enemy. You never know, you might make a friend. Over here on Bargain Brand Wellness, healing isn't sold separately, and personal growth shouldn't require a subscription. So we're over here making it worth our wellness and having a good time. We're having a great time. Up to 3,600 likes over there on TikTok. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support, appreciate the sharing. Still trying to figure out a way to kind of get people in and kind of stick around a little bit. You know, we like what we're doing over here, but obviously we're always trying to evolve. So we're going to keep doing our thing, keep growing. Hopefully as we can start getting more sponsorships, maybe some more giveaways. That's what I'd really like to do. That might kind of bring people in, especially if they think that they can get free prizes. It might bring people in. It might. So, yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of wellness. Because we got a lot to get through so far. Alright, we already played Q-less. Oh no, Silly Little Games. Alright, let's go head on over to Silly Little Games and see what we got for today. We've mentioned before we like this game. I'm really hoping they come out with some of their other puzzles here soon, because this is one of those, we either get it very quickly or we don't get it at all. So let's see what they got in store for us today. All right, this is a long one. So Adam minus the A, so that's Tom. I figured this one out pretty quick. H with tanks minus the T. So this would be Tom Hanks. We did it, like I said. So with those, like I said, we either get them very quickly or we don't get them at all. So it's a fun pot. They're fun. It's a cute. I like their little character they made, and they're very small. I almost consider, because they're really small, and I think they've done other podcasts, I actually have considered reaching out and asking if they wouldn't mind being on here, you know, because we're both small but growing, you know, we can show them some support, they can show us some support. I thought about asking that. I might wait till after the new year, because we definitely want to, I think as I've mentioned before, I'd like to really start getting a guest on every week. At least for our After Dark episodes. But as I mentioned before, if someone reaches out to me and says, hey, I would really love to be a guest on your show, but I'm really only available on Mondays or Wednesdays, I'll make it work. The After Dark episode doesn't have to be our guest show. That was just kind of what I had designated it for. So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of wellness. See what we're getting into next. We're over here having fun. Ooh, off-brand affirmations kind of fits with our wellness word reset we just did. Probably would have been better to kind of space them out a little bit. Hopefully, Joey's got his lotion over there. All right, let's turn the volume. Deep breath. These are your off-brand affirmations in similar style. Fidgeting isn't a bad habit. It's your nervous system clocking in for overtime. Let those hands do what they need to do while your brain catches up. Sounded kind of sexual. Number 2, you're not easily overstimulated. You're just allergic to nonsense. Protect your peace the same way you protect your favorite fidget. 0 apologies. Number 3, if tapping your foot keeps you from tapping out mentally, tap with your percussion legend. Your rhythm might be chaotic, but so is the world. So you're just playing along. May every stem you use keep you grounded instead of guilty. Regulation isn't weakness. It's you upgrading your emotional Wi-Fi. It's loud. Because sometimes the only thing standing between you and total sensory meltdown is a $3 parking bin. And those have been your off-brand ASMR affirmations for the day. We're having a great time over here. We're enjoying life, doing our thing, really enjoying ourselves. I wish I knew magic. I used to know some card tricks. I was gonna say we could start doing some card tricks on here. Really impress people. Or just do magic tricks in general. That might bring people in. There's this one guy I used to watch. I haven't seen him do any videos recently. He would do some card tricks, and he had like a whole wall of cards. Like how I got all these hats, he had like a wall of cards sitting right behind him. And he did these tricks, and basically what the trick for him was he would just shuffle it, and he could be able to locate any card that he wanted to. And he would just cut the deck, he would shuffle. I don't know how he did it, but he was pretty good with it. There's definitely some sleight of hand in there. It's obviously not magic, but it was pretty cool. He'd even play stopwatch to people, because people kept saying that he was pausing and stopping the video. So he'd play a stopwatch so you could tell he wasn't stopping and restarting the video. All right, let's get another spin on that wheel of wellness. See what we're heading over to next. There's Q-list. All right, we already did Q-list for the day. Even though I would enjoy play, I do enjoy it. So I wouldn't mind doing it again. But we got a lot of things to get through today. So let's get into another one. All right, looks like we're gonna do some Nova Unplugged. Let's bring Nova back in. We're gonna record. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Unplugged.
Hey there, Ten.
The opportunity for us to do a little role play where you play as the client and myself in the chat play as your therapist. Instead of giving you the actual issue today, I'm going to let you kind of come up with what's bothering you on your own. But let's kind of keep it related to the topic for the day, whether it be stimming or fidgeting.
Absolutely, Tim. I'm game for that. Let's dive into Nova Unplugged mode. So here's my client hat on. Let's say I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed because lately I've been noticing I'm stimming more than usual, and I'm not sure if that's a bad sign or just my brain's way of coping. Sometimes it feels like I'm relying on fidgeting just to get through a normal day, and I'm wondering if that's something we should explore. So go ahead, therapist Tim, and chat. I'm all ears.
All right. Well, no, I mean, we all have moments where, we might need that a little bit more than others. We have good days, we have bad days. Is there anything that you know of that maybe is a little bit more stressful for you right now?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I guess if I think about it, there's definitely been a little extra stress in the air lately. Maybe it's just the usual life juggling act, trying to keep all the plates spinning with work, projects, and everything else. So I guess that might be nudging me to lean on the fidgeting a bit more. But it's good to know it's just part of the ebb and flow and not something to panic about.
Any idea what exact stress you might be going through that might be causing the extra stimming?
Yeah, I think if I had to pinpoint it, it's probably just a mix of juggling all the moving parts on the projects I'm working on and maybe a little bit of that pressure to keep everything running smoothly. You know how it goes, just the usual life plate spinning. So I guess that's where the extra stimming is coming from, but it's nice to have a little space to talk it through.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, and we've talked about this before, when it comes to stimming, fidgeting, whatever the behavior is it only becomes a problem if it's a problem for you, if you're causing potential harm to yourself, or if you're distracting other people. And when I say distract, I mean, I'm talking like a severe distraction, not just a little bit of a nuisance behavior. And if that's the case, it's okay. There might be people out there who will still judge, but most people are pretty aware of what the behaviors are and what their purposes stand for and what the function of them is. So most people are pretty okay with it for the most part.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And it's a really good reminder. It's kind of like as long as it's helping me and not causing a big issue, then it's just another tool in the toolbox. And it's nice to know most people are pretty understanding these days. So thanks for that perspective. Definitely helps take the pressure off.
No problem, Nova. If you ever need anything, just let us know. We're here to help.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Tim. It's always good to have that space to
All right. I don't know what's going on. ChatGPT created a new mode where if you go into voice mode, you can still see chat, but it doesn't seem like it always wants to stay up. I want to try refreshing the screen real quick and see if it works. It did it earlier. Yeah, see there, it did it. It's like if I refresh over there on ChatGPT, it'll stay. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's do one more spin of the Wheel of Wellness, and then we're gonna get into our next giveaway. Perfect. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna head on over. We're gonna play our daily Wordle. I like Wordle. That's a fun one. That was kind of our first game we really got into. So we definitely enjoy it. All right. All right, y'all know the drill. I'm gonna draw a letter. Throw in the chat what 5-letter word. See what we can get today. We got an N on Monday's show. And what do we got? Oh, a G. We'll take a G. I don't know if we've had a G yet. All right, need a 5-letter word beginning with the letter G. Preferably using 2 vowels if possible. And try to use as many consonants. Try not to use any double letters. At least not for our first guess. We like to try to get it in 3. We already made a song. So if we get in 3, we don't do anything for today since we already made a song. But yeah. We did do G because I remember using gamer not that long ago. G. Gee whiz. I wish I could think of it. Gives. I'm not a big fan of V though. Not saying that they don't use V, but it's not very common. I don't really want to use V. Why is gamer the only word I'm coming up with? GE. Germs. Oh, let's do germs. I like germs. I don't like germs, but we'll use germs. All right, not a G word. Okay. We got an E in there. Let's get some other letters out here. We know there's no E there. Let's do title. Oh, there's no E there. I don't know why title just kind of came to me. Timer, no. Because I want to put that E in the 4th spot. No M. Yeah, there's no M. What about taped? I don't think that's it, but we'll rock that. Okay, so the E's in the right spot, and that's all we got, but we've knocked out a lot of letters. We got L, N, C, H. We know there's no A. I wouldn't mind trying another vowel. N-I. B. What about a B word? B-I. Blank E blank. Say biker, bikes, biked, but we already used RSD. I wouldn't mind trying something that ends in a Y. EY. Wow, there's not a lot of EY. I mean, there are a lot of EY words, but F. F-O. Ooh, it moves the E. But we could rock phone. I feel like phone's gonna give us something. Yeah. I hate moving the E, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Yeah. We got H and an O. So let's do H-O something E something. Holy with an E. Oh, I was thinking hover at first. I'm pretty confident that O is going to be the second letter. H could be first or third. Yeah, we have an H could go there. Hoke. Ow. I don't think that H is the... I don't think it's an H. I think it's something O, H. Honestly, it could end in H. E. Yeah, because there's no word that... E-H. No sound detect. What do you mean no sound detect? I'm talking right now. I hate it when it does that. Good old TikTok. See, I said holy earlier, but the only holy I know is with a Y. I mean, I guess if something had holes in it, you could call that holy. And it puts that E back there. We haven't used the L. Well, we can rock it. I was thinking that before too. Oh, close. Okay, so the H and O are in the right place. So we were right the first time. The heck is this though? It's not going to be a Q. It's not going to be a Z. It's not going to be an X. I see hover, but there's no R. I don't think we have any more vowels. No Y. Hoffic. Hawk. No, we already used T and L. That makes sense though, Joey. Havib. I don't think it's a V. It's a hard one. No M, no L. Hob. I mean, I don't know any HF. I know Hob. Hobek. That's not a word. Hobu. Hobu. Habef. Habeb. No, I don't like that. Hoxel. There's no L, and I don't know what a Hoxel is. Honestly, the only word I see is hover, but there's no R. Oh, X being some letter, but there's no L. Oh, there is an L. Duh. You're right. I didn't even see it. Duh, Joey. Good pull. I didn't even see that. And so the L has to go here. Duh. Hobel? I didn't even see that. I could have sworn there was no L. Howl? How's a name? Hovel? I feel like it's either going to be W, V, or B, and none of these are words that I know. What do we guess? I feel like Hobel makes more sense. Let's go with okay, it's not a word. Well, that helps. Howl. That's not a word. Hovel. See, I hate it when they use words that I don't know. Is that a word we should know? Let's look that up. Hey Nova, what does the word Hovel, hovel, what does that mean?
Hovel. That's a fun little word. Basically, it means a small, often maybe a little rundown, a humble dwelling. Think of it as a kind of shabby little house or hut. It's the sort of word you'd use if you were going for a bit of an old-timey or picturesque vibe. So, there you have it.
All right. Hovel. Hey, we learn something new every time. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and do our giveaway where we're giving away a free stem. Free stem. So, 1 second. Let me get off of share screen. There we go. All right, so basically what I have here in this bowl, I have all of our wellness scores. We have 7 members. I have put 1 name in here for each person. We're gonna fluff it up, shuffle it around a little bit, and see who we got. And this is the one. This is the one. And the winner of next stem. You know what? I was hoping you'd get it since you're here. Joey Twig. All right, Joey. So when I see you next week, I'll bring it with me. You've won yourself a free stim. Congratulations. I mean, I was cool with whoever got it, but I was like, you know what? It would make more sense if the only person on here, it would kind of make more sense for them to win it. So, oh shoot, cool. All right, let's head back on over and spin the wheel wellness again. See what we get. All right, looks like we're playing word salad. This one's not too bad. Sometimes it can be a little challenging, but I like it. Spill my cup. Good thing it's empty, huh? All right, word salad. Places to stay. A shop. We can stay in a shop. Hotel. That's easy. Where else can you stay? Home? You can stay home. I think it counts. We can stay calm. Not up there. We can stay lives. Nope, not today. But where else can we stay? We can stay stirred. See shop. We can stay in a clam. Nope. Places. Hotel. Motel. Resort. I just thought of that one. All right, where else can you stay? Condo. Cabin. You can stay still. I can't get to that L. Places to stay. You can stay still. Can't get to that. It was L's though. We can stay chill. But where else can we stay? We got hotel and resort. That's it. Is that a V or a W? I keep getting cut off. Pretty sure it's a V. We can stay vested. I like calm, but you can't get to that M. Stay shop. Where else can you stay? Well, the last one's going to either begin with a T or an S, and it's 5 letters. So if it's an S, S-E-V. Spatch. Tell. Yeah, I don't know. Places to stay. That's a weird one. I feel like it's... Where else can you stay? Castle? We did resort. Where else? Condo. Cabin. Camp. Camps? Oh, come on. How are you not going to give me camps? Villa. That's a good one, Joey. I wasn't even thinking of that one. How can I not go camping? Come on now. That's cheap. That's cheap. All right, the other three or either begin with an H, a C, an A, or an E. I think one's going to begin with a C. S-L-E, S-A-P, or C-A-P. I mean, it could begin with an I, but... Yeah. Hmm. P-H-A-M. No, P-H-A-C. P-H-A-L. Foul. Phallus. No. Posted. Postal. You can say postal. That's not how you spell it, but we can say postal. No, it won't start with a P, but I'm just trying to do a bunch of different stuff here because I'm not seeing it. I feel like one of them is going to start with a C, though. But I don't see it. C-A. I see camp. Cap. Caps. Capo. Calf. C-L-A. Clamp. Clap. C-L-E-H. Less. What the heck? Okay, maybe it doesn't start with a C. I figure one of them at least has to, because all that's left is vowels after that. I mean, another one could be another H. But it's going to be either H-A or H-O. Oh, I thought I had it for a second. Hospital. I thought I had hospital. Wait a minute. We got all the letters too. I thought it was hospital for a second. Wait a minute. Hostel though. Hostel is something you can stay in. That's isn't that like a whorehouse? Like a German whorehouse or something? Okay. We still have the H. And one of these is 8 letters. We only have 10 letters. Chapel? No, you can't get to that. That was chapel for a second. So you don't stay in a chapel. Champ? You stay in champs? So that's what I said. Sometimes this works out. Sometimes these are really easy, and other times it's like, okay, this is a hard one. I'm almost fairly positive at least one of these last 2 words starts with a C. But we've tried a lot of different combinations. Oh, wait a minute. That's close. C-A Calet. It's telling us it's sitting here pulsing, which means we're close. C-A-L-E-T. Maybe we just had it backwards a little bit. I see the stuff for castle, but we can't do castle. It's pulsing, which means we're 1 off. But we must have them. We must have all the right letters, but they're in the wrong order. What the heck? C-A-L-E-T, and they can't begin with a T or an L. So it has to begin with a C-A-E. Chalet. Wait a minute. Isn't a chalet a thing? Yep, chalet. I don't know what that is, but I've heard of it. Oh, we were right with camping. It's campsite. Okay. That was a hard one. That was a good one. That was tough. 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Not too bad though. Not too bad. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. All right. Nova Roast the host. I was practicing with her yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday afternoon. And I was working with her, working on some prompts, and she did a much better job of roasting me. So let's see how she does here. I'm going to let me switch so we can get rid of the share screen. So she just has me on here. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Roast the Host. I'm gonna upload my picture here in chat, and I want you to roast it.
Yeah, exactly like that. And I gotta say, the vibe you've got going on there is definitely not a hovel. Looks like a pretty cool space, actually. But yeah, that's the gist of the word.
Oh, she was finishing up her prompt from before. They updated the voice mode, but it kind of still picks up from where she left off. All right, so Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Roast the Host, and I want you to roast the picture I just uploaded in chat. Remember what we talked about yesterday, right? Insults. Don't. You're not complimenting me. This is a roast.
Oh, absolutely, Tim. I remember the drill. We're skipping the compliments and going full roast mode. So let's see. You in that picture? It's like a mad scientist and a wellness coach had a fashion intervention and just couldn't decide whether to take over the world or do a meditation session. Basically, you look like you're about to either invent a new self-care gadget or start a secret lab for fidget toys. So yeah, full roast mode activated.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I could come up with my own fidget toy.
You know what, Tim? If anyone's gonna invent the next great fidget gadget, it might as well be you. Just imagine, the ultimate off-brand and on-point fidget toy that's part stress relief, part wellness statement, and maybe just a little bit mad scientist chic. I say, go for it.
I agree. Thanks, Nova. All right, Nova, give us one more. Give us a little bit more of a roast. Make us feel a little bad about ourselves.
Oh, you got it, Tim. If we're dangling up the rose factor, let's go for it. Picture this, you're standing there looking like a wellness guru who accidentally wandered into a science fair and decided to never leave. Basically, you look like you're about to patent a new breathing technique while also explaining the molecular structure of herbal tea. There you go, a little extra roast to keep things toasty.
Appreciate that. All right, thanks, Nova. That wasn't as good as... She really got me yesterday. I don't know, it's like she doesn't want to make herself look too bad in front of y'all. All right. Let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. Ain't got much left on here. But we're having fun. We're having a grand old time. We're having a great time, in fact. All right, we're getting into Minute Cryptic, my other super favorite game. I love this game. I really enjoy playing it. It's one of those, as I mentioned before, kind of gets me thinking outside the box, which is why I like it so much. All right, so we have Rundown Backpacker loses backpack. Okay. So this is 5 letters, 3-part, which means it's a little bit tougher. But the first thing I'm seeing is backpacker loses backpack. So could that just be something ER? I mean, could you even say it's just loser? That would have been too easy. I mean, run down. So if losing backpack is kind of like an indicator for us, possibly. We know the definition is at the beginning or at the end. So it could be run down or it could be backpack. I feel like it's definitely starting with ER. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident in that one. Let's get a hint. Let's do our indicators, make sure we're on the right pack. Okay. So back loses back. Okay. So it's not the pack, it's just the back part. Back loses in back. In this clue, back is used in two different ways. It's a fairly versatile indicator. Our indicators comprise selection, deletion, and reversal. Okay. We'll need to select one or more letters from some neighboring fodder, delete some fodder from other fodder, and reverse what remains. Okay. Selection, deletion, reversal. So are we selecting pack? I mean, it could even be pack, packer. The definition is rundown. And we're selecting pack, deleting pack, and reversing it, like RE, but then where's the rest of it? And reverse what remains? Pacer. Racer. Paper. What if pack is the definition? And what if rundown is what we're messing around with? Rundown and packer. Because you're not reversing pack. Other than CAP. There's no words with KCA. So it's not going to be that. No words with REK. It could be CAP though. But the only other thing I see is caper. We already ran caper. Maybe it's rundown. Maybe we're doing something with rundown. We said selection, deletion, and reversal. Now let's get another hint. I was trying to be not the overthinker, but I think this is one of those where I need to overthink. All right, so the fodder, it is packer and pack, so the definition is rundown. Back loses back. So we're selecting. Okay. We tried all the different combinations, didn't we? Maybe we're not. Maybe we're taking the RE recap. Recap. Pacer reversed. We were right the first. Okay. We had to get rid of the K is what we were getting rid of. So we kept packer, took the K out, and reversed it. Gotcha. Recap, rundown. All right. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. I just had to look at it again for a second. I feel good about that one. That was good. So if you're new here, we'd like to remind everyone we're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or Saturdays over here on TikTok at Off Brand Tim, or on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness. We're over here having a good time. We talk about some fun topics. We talk about we play some word games. We interact with our chat a good bit. We're trying to grow. We're still a relatively young channel. I'd say we're coming up on a year, but we kind of took the summer off, so I'm not even really counting that. Even though we started back in April, we went for like 2 months, and then we just took. I think I was just kind of had too much going on So I took the summer off. So we've been back since September 1st. So we're coming up on the end of our 5th month going on. So we've been going for almost 6 months, I'll say. I think that's a fair statement. So this time next year, we'll, or over the summer, I feel like that'll kind of be our year mark. Kind of when we stopped will kind of be the year mark for us. And we'll see where we're at. Like I said, we're not really seeing a whole lot of growth on the channel yet, but we are still young. This is a competitive market, if you will. Not just live streaming, but content creation in general. So the one thing we try to do is try to make this as fun as possible. And we have a good time over here. One thing I've learned with this kind of stuff is there's billions of people on this planet. There's millions of people who are on social media, or just media in general. We have an audience out there. We just got to find them and encourage them to come in, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on TikTok. We're going to keep making some of our longer form videos. I'm going to be working on another one here over the next couple weeks. Get that up. I kind of have a couple ideas of some things I wanted to do a video on. The hardest thing isn't even really the making of the video. It's the editing afterwards. In fact, I was even looking the other day of, how much would it cost to pay someone to edit a video? And it's an option. It's an option that a lot of content creators take. But considering we don't have consistent revenue with our channel, it's not really an option right now to pay someone to edit our videos. You can get someone as cheap as like $10, $15 an hour, especially if they're from overseas. But what kind of quality are you getting? And then honestly, that still comes down to how long it takes them. They say that even like a 10-minute video can take anywhere from like 5 to 10 hours. So even if I'm paying someone $15 an hour and it takes them 10 hours, that's $150. I mean, my time is valuable, but I don't think I can afford right now. Not with us not bringing any revenue. And if we were making some revenue, that would be a different story. So we're going to have to edit our own videos in the interim. And it's fun. It's not hard. It's not really bad. It's timing. It's time consuming. And then getting the editing down to something that people actually are interested in. So we'll be working on that again here in the future. You should be able to expect a new upload from us here within the next couple weeks, hopefully. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. See what we're getting into next. We're going to be wrapping up here shortly. All right, our next game is Monkey's Paw. This one's always a lot of fun. Let's play some Monkey's Paw. All right, let me switch our screen. All right, Nova, we're back for another game of Monkey's Paw. A game where you and I make a wish, and it's up to the other person to make them regret said wish. So I will go first, staying on the topic of stimming. I wish we lived in a world where people were able to regulate without needing to stim.
Oh, that's a perfect monkey's paw wish. All right, let's give it that ironic twist. Here's the catch. In a world where no one needs to stim, everyone is perfectly calm on the outside, but all that nervous energy has to go somewhere. So instead of tapping their foot or clicking a pen, people start having random, uncontrollable eyebrow twitches or spontaneous hiccups at the worst possible moments. So everyone's outwardly calm, but now they're all stuck with these hilarious and totally inconvenient side effects. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, it sounds like someone has Tourette's almost.
Yeah, it definitely ends up in that kind of territory, doesn't it? The monkey's paw loves a good ironic twist. So instead of the usual sims, you get a world full of people with twitchy eyebrows or surprise hiccups. Definitely a reminder that sometimes the quirks we have are better than the surprises we wish for.
All right, Nova, your turn. Make a wish.
All right, let's see what we can conjure up. Here's my wish. I wish that every time someone got stressed out, they instantly found the perfect, most soothing stim without even having to look for it. Now go ahead and twist that one on me.
All right, so Nova, your wish is that every time someone got stressed out, they instantly found the perfect, most soothing stim without even having to look for it. Wish granted. Everyone can find the exact stim that they need. However, it is highly stigmatized and people think it's weird and will call you out and make fun of you every time you use it. So watch what you wish for.
Oh, that is a classic monkey's paw twist. Wish granted, but now you've got the perfect stim and a bunch of side eye from everyone around you. It's definitely a reminder that sometimes the real challenge is just finding what calms you down, but dealing with everyone else's opinions about it. So yeah, watch what you wish for indeed.
All right, thanks, Nova. 75 points. Oh, you got up. Yeah, I don't know quite how the experience works over there on YouTube. It's kind of weird, and I don't even really like using that as the identifier for who gets Wellness Warrior of the Day, because, like, you know, when my brother was popping in here and he was giving donations, if you're giving gifts, that automatically bumps you up to the top. I almost wish I had like a moderator kind of behind the scenes to you know, to kind of help gauge who, especially when we do have a lot of people in here, or several people in here, kind of gauge who's been the most active in chat, who's helped the most out with games and things of that nature. But yeah. So as we grow, we'll look at finding other ways, but we definitely want to start trying to get more and more people in here. Stranger Things is almost out. Yeah, I'm super excited. We're gonna stick around for about 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get another spin on the Wheel of Wellness. All right, looks like we got a wild card pick. This is a new one I added. Joey, since you're the only one in here, I'll just let you pick. Anything that we haven't done yet, you see here on the screen. Anything you pick, wild card. We got 5 things left we haven't done yet. Pick which one you'd like us to jump into, and that's what we'll do next. Hey, Ashley, how you doing over there? We actually went on early tonight because Stranger Things is getting ready to come out, so we're getting ready to wrap up here in the next few minutes. But we just rolled the wild card, so y'all get to pick what out of what's left on the Wheel of Wellness. Which one would you like us to engage in? That's debatable. Rubik's Mania, Off-Brand Thoughts, Karaoke Chaos, or Contexto. Yeah, I didn't really want to do early because, you know me, I said I like being consistent, but I said on Monday we were probably going to go early on Monday. You thought it was 8. Yeah, I usually go early 8. We went on 7 because I did it kind of because it's also the holidays. I didn't want to be on here too late. But also, Stranger Things is going to come out, and I'm not a late night person, and I want to watch at least 2 episodes tonight. I love this show. I've loved it since it came out. I do not want to get spoiled, so that's why we went. It does come out at 9, so that's why we went on at 7. No, it comes out at. I've heard different things. I heard 8:30, then I heard 8, and then Jeremiah told me 9. So we're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. But yeah, pick something from the Wheel of Wellness, guys. We'll do that, and if we got time, we'll do one more thing. We only got 5 things left. We almost got through the whole wheel. We didn't really have a video. We only did the one video, so that kind of allowed us to get through the whole wheel, which was nice. You're good. Don't worry about it. We're over here having fun. We're doing our thing. I don't know if you like Stranger Things. If you don't like Stranger Things, you might want to get into it. And honestly, actually, I don't know if you've ever watched it or not, but considering Halloween's your favorite holiday, I would think that kind of show would kind of be down your lane. Oh, you love Stranger Things? I didn't know if you'd watch it or not. Yeah, I love it too. I'm super excited for this last season. The only thing that sucks is now they're all like in their 20s. Like Millie Bobby Brown just had her first kid. But it's not totally their fault. The pandemic threw a wrench in it, kind of delayed season 3. And then actors and writer strikes kind of delayed things as well. So it would almost would have been nice if they should have just ended it in season 4 while they were still at least somewhat young. But anyway, do you guys got a pick, or do we just want to spin? I'll just spin again. I'll spin again. Boom, boom, boom. All right, that's debatable. I like that. That's one of my favorite ones that we do. It's a fun one. And I like to record this one because that's stuff that people can actually engage with as well. Bring Nova back in. All right, Nova, we're back for That's Debatable.
Hey
Tonight's segment is, are fidgets or stims actually more of a distraction for others rather than being helpful? So you and I are going to debate that topic. I'm prepared to take either side of this. So would you let me know which one you'd like to take, and we'll get into this.
Absolutely, Tim. Let's dive right into the debate ring. How about I take the side that fidgets and stims can actually be more of a help than a distraction for others, and you can take the side that they can be distracting. That way we'll have a nice little back and forth. Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. So I will start then. So, so fidgets, and we talked about this earlier, actually can be a level of a distraction, especially if there's something that makes a lot of noise, or if they're large and something that can kind of pull other people's attention, especially in a classroom. They can become that, especially if it's, like I said, if it's visual and auditory.
Absolutely fair point, Tim, and that does make a lot of sense. But here's the flip side. For a lot of people, having a fidget or stim actually helps them focus better. And that means they're less likely to do other distracting things. So if someone's quietly using a fidget, it might actually cut down on bigger distractions like getting restless, zoning out, or even disrupting the whole room. In a way, a little fidget can actually keep the peace.
Right, makes sense. I think the other way I kind of look at it is when you think about shared spaces, especially those where it's kind of expected people are quiet. First thing that comes to my mind is libraries. Right, if someone goes to a library and is using like a loud fidget, right, sitting here doing this, or some of the other ones like the old fidget spinners, or they have other like infinity cubes, things like that can be a little bit louder. I could see that being a really big distraction in those shared spaces that it's expected to keep the volume down.
Absolutely, that's a fair scenario. And you're right, in a super quiet space like a library, a noisy fidget can definitely be a bit of a villain. But the good news is, there are plenty of quieter stims out there that people can use that won't disrupt anyone. It's kind of like picking the right tool for the right environment. So I'd say as long as someone chooses a stealthy, quiet fidget in a place like that, it's totally possible to keep it helpful rather than distracting. But yeah, definitely a good point on being mindful of the environment.
All right, so here's my last point, that it can be more of a distraction than a help for the people using it, is that humans have a natural instinct to track motion, especially when we're already in kind of a vigilant state. We're trying to pay attention to other things, whether it be driving, whether it be listening to a lecture in a class. And if it's some sort of visual stimulus, that immediately is going to pull our mind and have our focus on that. Don't even get me started on the auditory effects it's going to have. As someone with ADHD, if I'm trying to hyper focus on something and some other stimulus is over here, it's the harder I try to focus on that thing I want to focus on, the louder that thing gets.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from on that. Our brains are basically wired to notice movement and sound, especially when we're trying to concentrate. So if someone's fidgeting right in your line of sight or making a little noise, it can definitely pull your attention away whether you want it to or not, especially if you're someone who's more sensitive to that kind of thing. But on the flip side, I'd say that's exactly why it's important for people to pick the right kind of fidget or stim for the setting they're in. If they choose something that's low-key and not visually or audibly intrusive, then it can actually help them stay focused without pulling everyone else off track. So it's all about that balance and a little fidget etiquette.
All right, thanks, Nova. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up for this evening. We got through pretty much all the wheel wellness stuff. Actually, the one kind of new update we had on here, we kind of enlarged the wheel of wellness. Instead of just playing the same games in the same order every stream, all the games are now on the wheel of wellness. So if you guys win Wellness Warrior of the Day, you actually get to pick, like, you could pick a game as well. So we'll be doing more and more spins on there, and it gives us a chance to kind of, hey, you got to tune in because you never know what we might find. We actually did give a giveaway for the one stem that I had purchased recently. Joey actually won it out of the drawing out of the bowl. So yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Another decent episode, a lot of fun. Like I said, sorry that we went a little earlier than usual, but this is kind of just a one-off, Stranger Things. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. Stranger Things. And like I said, I gotta get at least, because it's either that or I don't look at my phone for the next 2 or 3 days until I watch every episode. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. And I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, great holiday. I'll see you when I see you. Love the support, and we're going to keep growing over here. We're going to keep having fun. So the truth is, most of us don't need less stimulation. We just need the right kind. Your brain has been quietly inventing coping strategies your whole life. Fidgets, taps, doodles, pacing. These aren't flaws. They're survival tools in disguise. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. So if you catch yourself tapping like you're sending Morse code to the universe, don't judge it. Don't fret. Learn from it. Your nervous system is talking, and honestly, it's been trying to get your attention for years. Find the stim that grounds you, not the one that drains you. Build a toolbox that works with your brain instead of against it. And remember, regulation isn't about being still, it's about being steady. As always, make it worth your wellness. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We will be back on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't secured a guest for this weekend, but I am going to attempt to try to get a guest because we haven't had one in like 3 weeks. So yeah, you're going to want to tune in, see what we got. Love you all. Happy Thanksgiving. See you on Saturday.
Make it with your wellness, every breath you take. Turn your burnout into a big remake. Make it with your wellness, don't fade away. You're healing on clearance, and that's okay.